Hello, this is Stampy Longnose, and welcome to a Halo Reach gameplay commentary. Don't eat sweet and sour chicken balls followed by fizzy sweets because it tastes horrible. I'm playing a game of Slayer DMRs on the map Hang'em High. Actually, I think this is the altered version of Hang'em High, and I suppose I'm technically playing Halo Reach, but this is still Halo Anniversary. This is one of the maps that you get. But if you don't know how Halo Anniversary works, you basically get a map pack for the multiplayer. There isn't any new dedicated multiplayer. You get some new maps which are taken from old Halo maps, as well as some new game types, but these game types are going to be available for everyone eventually, and everyone's going to be able to download the map pack at a later date. I've actually got 2 games that I'm probably going to upload on this map. I try and play a few more games between then, so I don't upload 2 games on this map in a row, which is surprising because out of all the maps that I heard announced for this, this was one that I was least looking forward to. I always hated this map in Halo 1 and Halo 2. I only found it remotely playable playing Team Snipers because I just found it way just too big and just open, and there's just a few couple areas where everyone would just go to over and over again, and it was just a very bad flowing map. And but it's kind of alright in this game actually. It's got a sniper rifle in it, and if you're playing against bad players, it's really easy to get that sniper rifle. Actually, it's quite difficult to get the sniper, but once you have it, and you can kind of go back into an area where I am, the map's so huge that the sniper's just such an amazing advantage. I'm amazed that not so many people rush for it, and as you see, it was kind of easy for me to pick it up on this game, but if you're doing the official Hang'em High variant, which is basically trying to replicate as much as the original Hang'em High as possible, and it's kind of in the middle of the map. You see that platform kind of in the... well, saw it briefly. Oh wait till I look around. Okay, I'm not going to look. There's a platform right in the middle of the map where I think the rocket launcher spawns on this high noon variant, and it basically spawns there, so it's kind of difficult to get to it, but once you do get it, you can totally control. But I'm not going to talk about Halo Reach too much in this. I'm going to talk about Halo Anniversary. Not really a first impressions, because I've already done a review of it. If you haven't checked that out and would like to see my review of it, it's quite like if you're literally on the wall about deciding whether to buy this game or not, I think it's probably the most in-depth video review available. It's about 9 minutes, and I talk about everything: the campaign, the skulls, the terminals, and the achievements. I talk about the multiplayer, the co-op. Like, I talk about everything. So I'm not uploading this video to plug another one of my videos. I just basically want to make you aware that this review does exist, and I'll leave a link to that in the description. So I don't want to repeat myself too much about what I say in that review, but I know a lot of people don't kind of like listening to more formal videos and would rather hear my opinions about it in a gameplay commentary. That's kind of what this video's purpose will be, as well as hopefully some pretty entertaining gameplay. I haven't had a huge amount of time to play this game. I was playing for the purpose of getting gameplay as well, which normally makes me play worse. The thing I like about Halo is I can just play and play and play. If I happen to get a good game, I can just save it in theatre, whereas other games I'm normally recording at the same time. I've always got it in the back of my head I'm recording, and because I was going to try and play gameplay, I think from about now, after I realised I got a Frenzy or Riot, whatever I'm on, I started kind of becoming really conscious of the way I was playing, and like a moment like this where I'd kind of miss a bit, I'd get annoyed with myself, and I start mucking up my aim a little bit, so you're going to have to bear through that, but it does get slightly better towards the end of the video, hopefully anyway. Overall, I've enjoyed Halo Anniversary. If I knew what it was going to be like, I don't know if I would have bought it. I might have maybe just waited for the multiplayer maps. I was a huge fan of the original Halo. I never actually owned an Xbox when the first Halo came out, but my mate did have one, and I used to go around his and play it all the time. I never actually played the campaign from beginning to finish. From beginning to finish in like order until I owned the game myself quite a few years later, but I just loved just playing little random bits, doing like Warthog launching. Like basically the Warthogs were invincible in that game, and you could pile up grenades underneath it and blow them all up and fly across the map and do these weird glitches, and used to hack the game as well. We could like run up walls and do all this crazy stuff and play the multiplayer. It was just such an amazing thing. It was so different to anything that I'd like ever played before, and it was so incredible. But going back to it now, I must admit, like, I can see how the game's aged, and like, I mean, it's a lot of people are very defensive about the original Halo and the campaign and that, and I think in its time it was so revolutionary. It was so, well, it wasn't even hugely different. It was just so well made, and it just, the graphics were incredible for the time. It was this big launch title, this big exciting like new Xbox, and like the graphics were really good, had really good AI for its time, and had so much going for it that everyone kind of overlooked all of the inherent problems. And the biggest problem with it, and I do mention it in my review, is just how repetitive it is. Like, I mean, obviously the library is the famous level for just being stupidly repetitive, in which it would literally be the same, like, room, just copy and paste it again and again, and you're fighting the Flood, and no one likes fighting the Flood. I don't know why they've kept them in all of the Halo games up until Halo Reach. Like, I mean, obviously they're hugely crucial for the plot. Basically, the whole plot is about trying to get rid of them. But, I mean, you could have just, like, shown them, but not made us have to fight them. They're just really annoying. And I don't know, I didn't enjoy playing through the campaign. And I think a big part of that is because I was playing through it with the purpose of making a review. I was kind of strapped for time. I was playing the game in between uni and working in the pub, so I didn't have much time to play it as it was. And I was trying to get a review up as soon as possible, and the game actually came 2 days late, so I was already under time pressure. So I was rushing through it, and I wasn't just enjoying it because, one, I was trying to get through as fast as I could, and I was also recording as I was playing. And to make it easier for editing, I was naming all the clips and marking down clips that I'd want to use, which ones are good and which is bad. And it's kind of, you're not just playing through as you would, taking your time. I didn't have time to play through on co-op or anything, which is probably how I would have played through it first. So I didn't enjoy the campaign that much. But the big thing which, like, the big negative for the game, though, okay, it's fair enough you can say that it's repetitive and it's got some glitches because it's an old game and that, but that's kind of understandable. I think a lot of the true Halo fans wouldn't want them to change anything. That's not a problem. That's a problem with the original game, not problems with the actual remake. But the problem I've got with the actual HD remake is that it doesn't seem worth it. Like, because Halo seems so ahead. If you look at Halo compared to other games that came out in the same year, that's 2001, you can see that Halo is, like, so much better than all of the other games that came out. It kind of looks like a bit like a game that would come out in maybe 2003 or 2004. It was like that far ahead, and I mean Halo 2 stepped it up that bit further as well, but it was still a lot better than all of the other kind of games we were seeing at that time. And the fact that Halo Anniversary isn't quite as good as other games that are being released today, because it's running 2 game engines at the same time and it's kind of using the old style of, like, the original Halo, it doesn't look quite as good as, I don't know, compare it to, like, other big first-person shooters that came out, things like Battlefield 3 and Modern Warfare 3, like probably the 2 biggest first-person shooters that have come out recently, and it just simply doesn't look as good at them. It doesn't even look as good as Halo Reach, a game that came out like almost a year ago now. It doesn't look as good at it, which is understandable, the fact that it's running 2 engines at the same time and it's not building it from scratch, it is taking something that already exists and trying to improve it. Like, because of that, there doesn't seem to be that big a difference in some areas. I mean, in some places you can get a really dramatic effect, especially in a lot of the inside areas, but it's not something like so much just really better graphics, it's just a lot more detail added to places. But some of the exterior areas, you kind of switch between them and it's not so much which is better, it's kind of, it looks different, but it's not really that big of a step up. And I think, is 10 years like too soon to have a HD remake? I mean, a game like, okay, I mean, compare it to other HD remakes and you can see that it is a lot better than them. You look at something like the Metal Gear Solid remake, in which it's pretty much the same graphics, just they've like upped some of the textures and changed the ratio. The Ico Shadow and Colossus remakes, the Splinter Cell remakes, I think there's Tomb Raider remakes. All of these ones have had none of the same love and care put into them. And it's kind of understandable because those are games that came out like not too long ago. I mean, Shadow of the Colossus looked amazing when it came out. It's basically just giving it to like a new audience. Nice betrayal there, no teabag. And like things like Metal Gear Solid, once again, it's kind of trying to just bring the games to a new audience and having it in widescreen and that. The whole thing about this game is it's supposed to be this big, complete change. The reason why they let you switch between them is to show you how much like it's moved on since then. But the thing is, it hasn't really moved on since then. I think maybe just doing a normal HD remake in terms of making it so it is in HD, like up-resing a few of the textures, making it so you can play it in widescreen, adding online co-op and keeping the original multiplayer might have been a better idea to do for now. I mean, I respect what they did, they tried to do something amazing, but it seems just a little bit too early to the fact that it's not that much of a difference. I mean, 10 years really isn't that long of a time. I know technology is moving so fast now, but the fact that they had to start making the game like a while ago and that Halo Combat Evolved was originally so far ahead of the time, it just didn't seem worth to have a remake for me. But the multiplayer I am really enjoying, and it is basically just a map pack for Halo Reach, no matter which way they spin on it. I don't really care about the new Firefight map, Installation 4 or whatever it's called, but I am enjoying these new maps, and it's kind of fresh. And the annoying thing is it's kind of their own separate playlist, and if you're just playing like 4v4 games, there's only like 4 maps you're switching between, and it might come stale quite quickly. But they do look incredible, and I love the altered versions. They've got 2 versions of each map, one which stays true to the original as possible, and one in which they've added a few areas, like what I'm playing now. That lift I went up isn't normally in the map, and some of those back areas which you saw me in earlier, they're new additions. I do think they have improved the map rather than just doing it as a normal map pack. So I will be bringing you some more Halo Reach Anniversary gameplay. As I say, I've got another game on this map coming up soon. But apart from that, I think I'm just about drawing towards the end of this game as I get 27 kills and I think 4 deaths. So that's the end of this gameplay commentary. Cheers for watching, and I will see you later.